my name's Sandy Bowman and I've been into racing cars for a very long time. Let me begin with a story. Some time ago during an off-road racing event, we had a very large crash and completely destroyed the car. My navigator Daniel and I, we were hurt, but not like the car, it was gone, completely destroyed. So the first time in my life, I didn't have anything to race. To ensure that doesn't happen again, I'd like to welcome you to Aussie Racer. So what we're going to do every episode is we're going to borrow or build something that we can race in, on, or whatever. G'day everyone, welcome to Aussie Racer. For this episode, I've got to say something important. What you're about to watch is dedicated to a very special soul. This show is for somebody that rests within all of our hearts. Someone we tragically lost after filming this episode. Grasshopper, as we all knew him in the Aussie Racer family, taught us how important it was to get the most out of the short lives that we live. He utilised his talents, had an infectious laugh, and most of all, he did the best he could. So it's with great respect that we honour the memory of our crew member, Michael Berwick, and wish the best for his family and loved ones. Today and forever, we'll race for you, mate. Cheers. Because this episode's so important to us, we're going to do a two-part special. And you're going to come on a journey with the Harbin and I in our 71 Ford Escort coupe. I'll show you some secrets with how we put together this special little package. Following that, we're going to take you on an adventure and hang with some like-minded people who know this tarmac stuff a lot better than us. Certainly hard work on the eyes, and then he's starting to get comfy on the calls, a couple little stuff-ups, but we'll get in tune, won't take long. One of the awesome gifts life's thrown at me is to be able to create the things I love, which is race cars. There's no surprise there. But sometimes something comes into your life that's a little bit special. And this one was created right through these doors. This is our amazing little 71 Ford Escort Mk1 coupe. We threw in glimpses right at the start of Series 1. And out of all the vehicles we've driven so far, this little ripper's got the most attention. It strikes a chord with people. The Mk1 stirs them, all because it's a part of history. Born in 1968, Ford introduced the first generation of the Escort. Within 6 years, Ford announced that it had made over 2 million of them. It was an amazingly successful car. 3 years after the Mk1 Escort was launched, this one here came to life. And before the Harbin hijacked me in the last episode, I was explaining that we got this from Breddy's farm to what it is in an immensely short amount of time. The body was stripped, cleaned, and we cut out all unnecessary metal. We mounted fiberglass guards front and rear, and also the bonnet. I whipped up a 65 litre fuel cell. It's a super tight fit, but I left space in the boot for a spare and all the essential bits. We powder coated some Koya 15 by 7 inch rims and are running Federal 595 RSR tyres. Inside, the Harbin built a sturdy 6-point approved roll cage with extra cross bracing for side impacts, and all the junctions are triangulated. There's revs, oil and water gauges, and we built an adjustable drift brake for gymkhana events. The 5-speed gearbox has a short shifter, a modified billet knob from Whoopia, and the pedals are a twin cam adjustable pedal box. We still run Sparko seats with 5.3-inch harnesses. The coilover shocks have K-Mac kits for the camber and caster adjustment, and the front end has a 22mm sway bar. Up the back, standard leaves with a panhard rod to hold it all stable. So we got ourselves a new motor to go in. This one was just a standard one in when we assembled the car, and we're going to try and give it a red hot go. This little ripper is a 2150cc Pinto that has some special love in the bottom end. It's balanced, blueprinted, and has a nitrited crank. I can't give away the combination of stroke, etc., but I can tell you that we mixed up some Nissan parts and were blown away by how it all came together in there. The top end's ported and polished, with heavy valve springs and a modified Mitsubishi ignition. She has a grabby brass button clutch, leading into a Sierra Type 9 5-speed gearbox. Hidden behind the front rims are vented discs, alloy hubs with Volvo twin pot calipers and super duper brake pads.
I'm not off camera shot.
For the dyno runs, we visited our local guru. With some adjustment, got it over 200 horsepower with solid torque figures. For this car, that was an awesome result. We were frothing at the bit to go for a drive. Today we're at Haunted Hills for our very first hill climb in the Mk1. Before we headed to Mt Baw Baw for the Australian Tarmac Rally Championship, we needed a bit of seat time, a bit of a shakedown, and to see how this car handles with its new power plant. This is a club event, and the variety of race cars here is staggering. I had no idea there was such a culture in Australia. This event has 120 plus competitors in too many classes for me to even get close to understanding. There's open wheelers, historic cars, road registered cars, and even this insane go-kart. We were pretty excited to get through scrutineering, but we're having issues with one gentleman who really wanted us to have bumper bars.
Or would you call this a bumper? Because I would call that a bumper.
No, that's not a bumper. That's the front panel.
I just got them. I just didn't have time to put them on. Because, yeah, we've got them. I think he bought the story. I actually think we got away with it. That was scrutineering for our first hill climb. The genre of cars here is pretty wild. Some of these things are amazing. There's a few of the small Fords similar to us, so should be a fun day out here, I reckon. Very, very hot.
Mate, I reckon I'm a harness professional now.
Are you trying to say that Sandy doesn't know how to harness himself in?
I'm surprised he can drive sometimes, to be honest. Yeah, good to go.
So it's time for a practice run. Let's have a look at this track. So this is hill climb. Last time I drove this car, it had about 1 million less horsepower, so it should feel a lot more lively. And I've only driven it on flat tracks, never a hill climb. awesome. It'll be good when the tyres warm up a little bit, and we've taken the spare out of the back, so it's a little bit loose in the bum end. So you just have to get used to that. And a bit more power, it wants to break away a lot easier than it used to. So we'll go and have a couple more runs and get some heat in there. Good thing about hill climb is it's pretty family focused. There's a lot of people around, and Danny and I can race against each other, so I'm sure at the end of the day we'll be comparing times. Yeah. The track's really slippery, mate. You got to go really slow. Just take it really, really easy. The track's slippery. Really slippery. Don't talk to me. And there's bears out there. Don't talk to me. I'm in.
Yeah, I think I've got Sandy backed into a corner.
Not, mate.
I think he's a little worried. Might need some new undies. I've got him. I can feel it. I'm reeling him in.
That's the morning practice session's over. We're just sitting around waiting for our driver's briefing before the race starts in about half an hour's time. Had a good few practices. Hardman reckons he's got me nailed out there.
Doing a blister in time. I can feel it in my waters. Like 59 even.
Not even, I'd say.
59, not even.
The other 120 odd cars were all doing their own thing, and we worked out that it's over an hour between runs for us. So a lot of chill time was had while we waited for our turns.
That's what it's all about.
Hey, we got one of them.
So just having a bit of a relax before the actual event. Just trying to loosen up a little bit. Get Sandy in the back corner where he belongs. He's starting to get a bit old, a bit bald. you know, stacking on a few kilos, starting to get a bit heavier. So, you know, limber up and then get into it.
I may be getting a bit old in the hardman's eyes, so as usual, I'm happy to enlighten the youngsters with a bit of my driving expertise. Now to go around corners fast, mate.
Apparently not.
Fifth gear, 2,000 RPM. That's all you need.
That's what it's all about.
The hardman's finally out putting her time down, and I'm just hanging out, waiting for another turn.
Just wanna swim into your ocean of love.
Sunbeam. Gee, they got some odd cars here. Got some odd drivers too, mate. Just saying. Finally, it's my go. I need to keep my runs clean to stay ahead of that other peanut.
I'll do anything.
I'm thinking maybe one more run. It's 3:30 now. By the time we get another lap in, that's another 2 hours.
Yeah, it's a long wait between laps. I just pulled a 61.7 or something like that. The slow guy here is at about 63 something. So it's got a little bit of time to make up. Might win the booby prize, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably won't win the overall day. Got to get some of these guys crazy some of the times you're seeing.
38 seconds or something.
Yeah,
faster
under
ones.
40 seconds around a 1.6k track wheel. And we're getting just over a minute. At last we're back in the seat and having a few final attacks at getting those times down. My comfort in the car is building and I'm getting some speed, but it's still really loose in the back end.
By name and hard driver by 1973. Nice start, very good, smooth.
The hardman's on fire. He's getting good clean lines, but he's probably spending a little too much time still going sideways. Let's take it up a notch. We're squeezing out laps where we can, and the race between us has become quite real. The weather's come in a little bit, been a little bit drizzle on the track, but it seems to be holding a bit of dry. I'm on my last run, and I'm trying to keep my lap time under the hardman's. I cross the line with a 61.64. The hardman jumps in the seat and he's giving it everything he has. Can't see your name, mate.
Not on you.
It seems you're that slow you didn't even register.
It's a bit disappointing, really.
That was hill climb, eh? We weren't the fastest, but we were pretty. We were up there, yeah. That's about it, really. Overall times for the Aussie Racer crew had me winning, the hardman coming in second, and Grasshopper laying down some pretty impressive times considering he's in his daily driver. So it's just got real. First round of the Australian Tarmac Rally Championship at Mt Baw Baw in Victoria. I'm nervous because I haven't done it before. I'm nervous because Danny hasn't called anything off a book of rally notes before. So it should be an interesting weekend. Tarmac Rally. We've been dumped in the middle of a whole heap of Evos and Rexes. And let's be honest, we're slightly concerned. Concerned we should be. The start for this Tarmac Rally has some of the fastest drivers in the country in ridiculously quick cars. And another thing, most people here have more Tarmac Rally experience than the Hardman and I. How's that for a confidence booster? At least our little Mk1 Escort is going well. And it has one final touch. After the hill climb the other week, we've done a few little things. We've built a new set of headers, new exhaust, and some new ignition. A few other little mods. Pumped us up about another 20 kilowatts. So, like this car just wants to go fast, so we're hoping we get a good result.
So we're just at scrutineering. The boys are checking over the car. It's pretty important they do a proper scrutineering job for safety, not only for us, but for the public around watching and spectators. So everything has to be logbooked and noted, make sure everything's good.
Roll bar padding we've done, horn we've done, washers we've done, race suits we've done, warning light, triangles, warning triangles.
Yep, okay.
How are the boys looking so far?
So far, just waiting for an OK board and they've nearly got it. How's that sound? Pretty good or what? It's not bad for a Ford.
So that's our journey into the realms of the highly coveted discipline of Tarmac Rally. Now, when we got to Mt Baw Baw, we thought we were good, and then we were handed this. It's the official stage notes for the Mt Baw Baw sprint round of the Australian Tarmac Rally Championship, and it's a completely new kettle of fish. The Hardman filled his pants when he saw the smooth line stage notes, and we knew some serious help was needed to get our heads around using this book. I don't really know how this is working for us. This is like learning another language. It's sort of so many different combinations of letters, numbers and abbreviations.
And they all mean nothing to us.
We thought a brow meant lift your eyebrows. A brow does not mean lift your eyebrows. But we'll work it out.